Hi guys, welcome back to Banished with megamod 8. This is Derpy Moose 99. I've let it run ahead a little bit since the last episode, so we finished all the housing that we had queued up. We finished the two additional perfumeries. We needed some more water for the perfumeries, but I didn't have room for another water tower in this spot, so can't really see it, but there's a little water well in there, which will do the same thing in a smaller footprint. We've built a few of the specialized warehouses, so wood, stone, and another wood and an iron. I There was a stockpile over here that I got rid of because I want to build another trading dock in there at some point. And I've laid out some more stockpiles here and some more specialized warehouses. They don't fit perfectly here, but that's good enough for now. Let's take stock briefly of where we're at. So we have enough homes currently. We're in year 23 and we have 158 people, which is pretty cool. From our food graphs, we're trending up, flattened off a little bit there. But it looks like we're producing quite a bit more than we need right now, which is good. Um, Something else that I was playing around with while we were gone is I talked about a stable in oats to get domesticated animals. But so I built one out of curiosity, and it turns out you can do with oats, barley, or corn. And while we were waiting for everything to build there off camera, a merchant showed up with a corn seed, so I bought that. So I've changed this field here, which used to be rice, and then it was stopped for a while into corn. And I built the stable to do that. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's probably going to be fairly slow from what I remember. But when we get up to 4 domesticated animals here, actually what we'll do is we can start right now, just so I don't forget. Let's come into here, food, animal pens, egg pen, and we'll build it by the storage here. So this guy will need 4 to build and some logs. Um, so once that's built, it'll start producing. Well, it's an egg pen, so it'll have chickens, it'll produce eggs and feathers. And if you remember from a previous episode, we set some chicken breeders up in here. So this one should provide enough eggs to get these built. And then once those are built, we'll probably build some more in here. We may have to up our reeds production, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Then when we get some feathers and egg or feathers happening here, we can get survival coats going. Actually, if we look, we might have some feathers in stock from the hunters. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we actually turn this guy on? I'm guessing we have a fair amount of reeds. 370 there. Yeah, 2500 there. So let's actually get this person started, or this workshop started. Um, Now, I ran out of people while we were off camera there, so what I did is I looked at our logs. Our logs are way above our limit, so we're not in danger of using our forestry huts anytime soon. So I took half the foresters out to just give us workers and laborers and stuff like that. So if this falls below, 800, we're going to have to put some folks back. But for now, that's a very low risk appropriation of manpower. Okay, so survival coats. I'm going to leave this over here to see when we get one produced. So then we can start putting them into the trading dock. All right, so stable, we'll let that guy go. Egg pen, we'll keep an eye on that. I've also worked this industry supplier, so it's almost ready. But because our logs are so high right now, I think I'm going to leave it. And what I thought we do is we start working on some furniture. Oh, yeah, sorry. The other thing I did was I turned on this sawmill, but I did forget to do the roads and a few other things here. I think we were using gravel. Now, I did use up all the building supplies, I think. Oh, no, we got 11. So what we'll do is we'll actually turn on these guys, get some fuel storage, and then for this area here, another little log stockpile, and the rest of it will be fuel. Okay, now this is going to be reserved for housing. Don't want to encroach too much on our storage here. So I think what we'll do is we'll run a road up here. Now, furniture production gives us crafted items, and in here is a crafted barn, which I find works pretty good. So we'll kind of use that as our delineation there. Not sure how many we're going to be able to get into this space, but let's go into our crafting section here and get some joiners. And maybe what we'll do is we'll lay out 4 to start with. Not sure if we're going to use all those right away. It'll depend on manpower and logs, but planning for the future. All right, make sure this road actually goes all the way. And we'll put another crafted barn there. And because these guys use lumber, let's encourage a close supply of logs by putting some specialized log stockpiles in. Okay, so we got the joiners on the go. Dock, workshop, we're watching for survival coats to come out so we can put them in the traders. And oh yeah, we should put up the clothing limit from 100. I don't know, let's make that 800 or something. And the joiners, okay, let's go. Oh, there's our first survival coats coming out. So we have a decent supply of clothes, so we're not too worried about people needing clothes. They can grab them on their on the way to the trading dock. So in here, I think our production's fairly modest to start with. So let's just start with 50. Now you can see, or you will be able to see that the clothes are worth 15 each. So really a good trade good, and you're producing it out of feathers and reeds. So as long as you have enough chickens or maybe hunter's blinds producing ducks, and reeds are really easy to produce a lot of. So that's a great trade good. And we'll ramp up the production as we go here. So at some point we'll get out of, or mostly out of firewood. We'll be into coats of various types, perfume to keep the flowers getting out, and furniture and a few other things. So we'll diversify away from firewood because firewood's a little teeny bit dangerous. All right, here's a trader. All right, we're looking good for iron, stone, and logs are looking good, and we have building supplies are rolling in. Okay, there's our fuel storage going up. And what we might want to do over here too, let's just pause briefly, pull the gatherer's hut up. So we're producing charcoal, lumber, and firewood over here as well too. So I think what we might do, let's get the specialized warehouse. Let's put some fuel, and we won't encroach on the gatherer too much here. Fuel, and where is it here? Construction. So that'll do for lumber and for both charcoal and firewood. Now there's fairly big stockpiles here, but this will just be additional capacity so we don't fill everything up. And yeah, I think it's a little early. We'll put furnace fuel in here at some point, but I don't think we need that right yet. Okay, we got a trader coming in. And a miner. Okay, we don't really need anything right now. But insurance policy will set this up for iron ore, coal, maybe tin ores. Okay, so for the future, but nothing needed right now. Thank you. Okay, our joiners are starting to come up. Okay, our stable I don't think has worked yet because we're waiting for the corn to come in. Oh, the corn's starting to be harvested now. Okay, peas, turnips. Yeah, let's leave that for now. Let's go 5,000 on our fuel. I did turn on another sawmill here, so We have 4 sawmills doing firewood right now, which sounds like a lot, but it won't be. We'll need 6 or 8 more by the time we're done. Okay, crafted barns are coming up. Okay, once this is done, we'll assign some workers. Probably won't be able to fully populate it, but assign some workers and we'll look at our housing again. Food's pretty awesome right now. We got 28,000 food. Okay, there's our first joiner. I'm going to pump that up to 2, which is the max, and just let it go for the moment. No, I lied. I'm actually going to put 2 in. And let's see the first one produce so we can start adding those to the trading dock. So there's 2 per joiner, so which would be a total of 8 here, but we don't have the people for it. So I think what I'll do is I'll turn them all on, set them to 2, but only add 4. So that'll actually end up 1 each, and that'll give us room to expand by 4 in the future. Okay, and if we notice our logs start to fall, we'll activate this other industry supplier. Okay, there's another joiner. Set him to 2. Let him go. Oh, there's our first furniture. So furniture is, I talked about the coats being worth 15. Furniture is actually worth 22, so this is really worth doing, but it will suck a ton of logs. So make sure you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 industry docks set up or a lot of foresters. Okay, so we'll put 200 there, and I think down here for now, no, let's go 200 here as well. Now this will take a while to fill up. We'll need to start, you know, we'll get this up to 8 and get it going. So this will dribble in, but 200 is our target. Okay, it's another joiner. There's some oats there, but we got the corn going, so we're good. And the last joiner. All right, so we have 4 joiners. We don't really have enough for 8 unless we strip it right down. So let's just make this 4 for now. And maybe we'll add 2 more. Now remembering that I owe some workers back into the forestry industry if we need it. All right, now let's look at houses and see where we're at because we want to keep our steady growth going here. Looks like we're okay for houses for the moment. All right, looking good, thank you. Now, strictly speaking, because I have this set up to auto purchase, I don't have to look. But I kind of like to look to see where we're at, with our levels, and we can manually purchase additional if we need it. And plus, we don't know if all the traders coming here have been set up for repetitive trades yet. So that's why I have a quick look. All right, steel tools, that's our insurance policy, but we're okay there. Okay, that one we can let go. Okay, look, wow. Our egg pen came up. So let's put somebody in here. Now this is, I know it's an egg pen, but it's herdsman. And let's have a look and see where are our chicken breeders here. So actually interesting. So our stable produced a little bit faster than I thought. Yeah, 3 animals. Okay, so let's keep that going for a while. We don't need to food the corn right now, so we can dedicate that cornfield over to the stable. And what we're going to watch, we're going to watch these chicken breeders come up now. That means actually we should start building some additional dock workshops here. I just broke my 3-section rule, didn't I? Additional dock workshops for survival coats. And let's throw one in for fire bundles too. So just to help me sort of keep things organized, I'm going to keep the fire bundles on the left and the survival coats on the right. Although we might get into rope and a few other things that these workshops can do down the road. So I'm going to leave this as 2 reed farms for now. I think we have a truckload of reeds at the moment. Yeah, 2,600 reeds. So how's our feather supply doing? Yeah, down to 363. Okay, let's let that go. Interested to see why I've got all these up is to see how fast the egg pen produces eggs. So there's 6 already, and we only need 12 each for the chicken breeders here. So okay, how are we doing for furniture coming in? 30 there. I noticed we just had a bit of a bump up here, so let's go for 8 out of 8 in the joiners. I wonder if that means we need more houses. Yep, we need a few more houses. Okay, so let's expand the housing down here since we're going to be adding some jobs. So let's go. Let's just pause. We got stuff piling up here. Yep, break my rule again. And let's go to the docks and see what we got. Seeds. I bought mangoes off camera. Do we have apricots? No. Okay, let's add apricots here. I think our firewood's good. Oh, trader. Now, what did I say? Apricots, right? So let's go 400. And hopefully the math isn't too painful. I'm overpaying. Okay, gotta read the thing. All right, on your way. Yeah, we built 3 in here, didn't we? Oh, there's a chicken breeder already. So that turned out to be a pretty decent strategy. So the stable with either oats, wheat, or rye. Get some domesticated animals, build the egg pen, and that gets our chicken breeders going. Let's see if we can get away with 4 houses here. Okay, there's another chicken breeder. Now, I talked earlier about my rule of not building anything on this side, but I think I'm going to build a few more egg pens or chicken breeders on this side, but I'm got to make sure I don't block anything off here. And I keep threatening to build a fishery here, but our food's so good right now we don't need to. Oh, okay, and I thought for sure you're going to bring eggs right after we don't need them. Okay. Yeah, let's make that even. Okay. How are we doing for manpower? Not bad. All right, let's get the houses up and then see about maybe adding some more chickens. Oh, we've also got the workshops here to finish. All right. Logs are falling a bit. I think our trade goods are pretty good. So you know what? Let's start this guy into operation as well too. All right, let's clear some trees out of here. You can clear a few out down here too. All right, there's our industry supplier. Okay, let's pull up the first one here just to make sure we're somewhat consistent. So I believe we had 1,000 firewood. We have 500 perfume. 50 survival coats. Although we'll bump that up soon. And I think we said 200 furniture, if I remember correctly. So firewood, perfume, survival coats, furniture. Okay, and then as far as purchases, put this on auto. We're going to say 2,000 logs. And got 748 stone, so let's go 100 there. And let's lower this one to 100. Our iron's pretty good, so let's go 25 iron and 25 iron. Now we're also set for 6 construction here, so I'm going to make that 8. But this one we'll leave at 0 until we actually get the traders set up for the repetitive, consistent trades. Okay, and workers, we have 3 in this one. Okay, let's go 3 there as well. Now I find that with this industry suppliers, what you want to eventually do is get to the maximum 5. As your town grows, you can have more and more traders coming. And with the auto trade set up, you'll need a lot of replenishment. And also the traders take the material out of the dock and move it into the stockpiles or into the marketplaces and stuff like that. So let's let that go. Yeah, speaking of marketplaces, these are probably running a bit undermanned right now. So next bump of laborers we get, we'll maybe bump these up to 4. I think we have our little tiny one in here still with 1. If it's doing okay, it's pretty full. And the dock's pretty full too, so a lot of fire bundles, okay. Oh, there's a bunch of survival codes too, and some rice. Okay, let's prioritize the housing here. Oh, I haven't looked at our farming community for a while. How are we doing up here? Oh, oranges. Lovely oranges are starting to come in. And over 2,000 hazelnuts last year. That's awesome. Now see what I was saying? Like this is bringing in about 1,600 from a crop field. But the orchards, even though they take longer to get going, there's a few additional issues around trees needing to be replenished. But that's a fairly significant increase in food production over the crop field of the same area. So that's good to see. That's why our food's way up. What do we got here? Ooh, a various vendor, my favorite. Okay, every visit I want you to bring me domesticated animals. We don't need flowers, that's for sure for now. Tallow though, for candles. Anything else for the future? We don't need reeds because we're going to bring those in. Silkworms we can worry about later. We're going to get into wool, I think, and maybe flax and linen before we go down the Silk Road. Domesticated animals, tallow. Let's throw whale blubber in there, even though we don't have a processing plant. But we're going to want lamp oil at some point, and that's a good source. So every visit. Now, what do you have here? Oh, there's a bit of tallow there. Nothing we really want otherwise. All right, so that will be okay. I thought we did need tallow. Let's just quickly double check. Yeah, we're down to 0 there. Although I think we probably have a few candles. Yeah, 244. Okay, there's finally some of the dock homes coming in. You know, I'm starting to think you can't get eggs through the food supplier. I know I've gotten before through the general trading dock. Okay, one more dock home. Okay, let's take stock on people and houses. We're good, more than good there. Now, sometimes you can see that the last house we built actually had a family move in right away, so there is demand. But this actually says we have 6 more than we need. So in the early game, this is actually pretty close to accurate. But what happens is adults are moving in with students. Um, and but this factor, as explained before, is based on adults. So it thinks there's extra houses, but actually what we'll probably find is, yeah, see here, a forester and a student. So it would say if it had two adults, it'd say it needs one house, yada yada. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. So that throws it off a bit. So um, this is still a good thing to watch. And you just, like I say, you have to develop your own ratios and your own feel for how many houses you exactly want to build. That is, if you want to keep the growth steady. At some point, you might want to level off, but I like the challenge of the continuous growth. Okay, and just before we unpause, I want to check inventory. Feathers are 260, so we were, I think, 253 last time. Um, but we're building coats, so these are starting to sort of level us out. But I think we don't have manpower. I think what we'll do though is we'll pre-build a few more chickens. What are they called here? Dock chicken breeders. Okay, we'll build here, being careful not to cut off our trade river. Okay, and that's on pause. Okay, seeds. Seeds are good for now, I think. Yeah, although we might want, let's get some pumpkins just for fun. Okay, how is this looking for stock? Oh, it's getting there. Furniture. See, we're not getting to the 200 on the furniture, but because they're worth 22, anything, that's still worth a fair amount of trade goods there. So at some point soon, we can think about bumping down the firewood in the inventory. Food's over 44,000 now. That's great. Hauler here. Okay, this is our new trading dock. So we have to start setting up our orders. I think what I'm going to do is think about maybe um, some shipping to get some blubber and stuff. So we're going to go lumber. I think we want some homewares too. So instead of our usual iron, we're going to go homewares, or iron and building supplies. We'll go homewares, lumber, or not lumber, sorry, all components, and the usual stone and log. Okay, and we should have bought our auto purchases set up, so we should have bought some stuff. And there's some homewares there. We'll grab those. Those are used for housing, more fancier housing, I guess. And our perfume, we'll use that. So 70 of those and 3 of those. And you should be set up already. All right, our additional workshop. We lost a bunch of laborers there, so. Oh, and we can't. And we need our foresters as well too. Rats. Okay, let's just go with laborers for the moment. You're not going to be staffed for a little while. These guys here, we'll turn those off as well too when they're built. Or nothing will be built actually now. Okay. Yeah, it was risky to steal the foresters, but hopefully those last two traders brought in some logs. Yeah, a few are left in there. Okay, we're doing not bad on logs here. We'll watch this. If this gets serious, we'll shut off the furniture makers or the joiners for temporarily until we either get some more logs or receive more logs or get some staff to put back. Let's be brave and risk a builder. I always like that about Banished. You think you're doing fine, you have lots of people and food, and suddenly something changes. Like, a bunch of folks unfortunately pass away to old age or something, and you're left short. Okay, looks like another workshop there. Okay, turn you off. Yeah, we'll have to leave these chicken breeders off as well too until we can take or get the people to operate them. Okay. Yeah, this tailor over here is probably still making hide coats. We could probably shut that one off. Maybe even schedule that one for upgrade. I think we've got enough survival coats to, yeah, 350. We got enough for everybody and to trade. All right. Okay. I am gonna stop looking for eggs. Okay, down to 380 on the logs. I wonder if we can afford maybe to squeak a couple back into forestry here. Well, I guess these foresters weren't really doing much, so now they get to work for a while. All right, so this one's bringing quite a few logs, so I'm sure we bought our usual. Oh, no, we're not set up to auto trade in this one. Okay, let's do that while we're thinking of it. So we'll set you up to auto trade 1,000 logs anyways, and we'll manually purchase you. Okay, that'll give us an infusion of 600, which will help greatly. Do some math here. And iron and stone are still good, so thank you for that. That was timely. One of our chicken breeders. And yeah, we just got those logs. Okay, well, I'm gonna go chicken breeder rather than forester. Although these guys here, we probably won't. So it'll give us 4 chicken breeders and this egg pen. Um, so we can see how that does as far as coats. Mind you, we only have one workshop turning out the survival coats right now, so that's not really going to be a huge demand. But we want to ramp that up to 5, 6, or more workshops making those survival coats. Food's still pretty good. Another chicken breeder to turn off. Okay, bring lots of logs. You did. Let's see how many you brought. 800. Okay. I think we're out of danger on the logs here. Okay, thank you. Chicken breeder off. You need to be set up. Let's do building supplies, homeware, stone, and log. Okay. Okay, so that's a little bit risky. That's why I would talked early in earlier episodes about diversifying your fuel supply types for houses. You run out of logs, you can swiftly if you start doing things like making tons of furniture, trading tons of firewood, you can suddenly find yourself in a jam. So we've still got this stacks burner down here making charcoal, and even though it's only one workshop here, this has made a fair amount of fire bundles. So um, between those two, and you can obviously ramp them up as you grow, that'll um, keep you safe if you suddenly run out of firewood. And even if you run out of logs totally, um, the reeds here can still supply some heating for your houses. So you probably want to ramp that up to 2, 3, maybe 4 workshops at some point. Okay, guys, I think we're going to end the episode here just after we see what the seed trader has. Oh, raspberries. I love raspberries. I don't need them, but I love raspberries. So there you go. Okay, I've been Derpy Moose 99. That was, I believe, episode 8 of Banished Megamod 8, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you.